So, in case you guys haven't heard, Kanye West has been removed from Chase Bank from doing business with them. And he also had an episode on Drink Champs. I don't know if you guys are aware of it. It's a show where a lot of different rappers and people go on and they get drunk and they talk about stuff. And I don't really watch the show that much. I watched it a couple of times maybe. But I was paying attention to what's going on with Kanye West because he's a polarizing figure, right? And this isn't about rap music or hip hop or anything, even though I grew up listening to that and I like a lot of his music. I think he's a great artist. But that's not what this video is about, okay? So if you think that's what this is about, it's not. It's about what they're doing to people that they don't like and that they're trying to make an example out of. The same thing that happened with Alex Jones and anybody else like Will Smith or these other people, right? If they want to make an example out of you, and they being the ones that control the world, the evil ones that run the world, they will do things like this to you. So I have two articles I'm going to read. And then as I'm reading, I'm going to comment on what is going on in the article, what they're talking about, and give my opinion on it. First article titled, Kanye West Bank JP Morgan Chase Cuts Ties with Rapper. The U.S. bank JP Morgan Chase has ended its relationship with Kanye West and his clothing brand Yeezy Inc., although the decision predates the rapper and designer's recent controversies in which he wore a White Lives Matter t-shirt and shared racist conspiracy theories in an unaired interview. Candace Owens, the conservative U.S. commentator whom West has associated with in recent years, shared a letter from the bank dated 20 September on Twitter. The New York Times verified that the bank was ending its relationship with Yeezy LLC, but would maintain the accounts until 21st November to allow sufficient time to transfer the account. West had previously criticized JP Morgan's leadership online and said that the bank would not give him access to the bank's chief executive, Jamie Dimon. West responded to the bank severing ties with him as he left an event in Nashville on 12 October. Approached by Page 6, he said, "Hey, if you call somebody out for bad business, that means you're being anti-Semitic. I feel happy to have crossed the line of that idea so we can speak openly about things, like getting canceled by a bank." He added that he was the richest black man in American history that put $140 million in JP Morgan. So, long story short, they're canceling him because they don't like him as a person and what he stands for, or the things he says. That's what I'm getting from this. Regardless of what he says or the article or anything like that, I see what they're doing, right? He represents a certain ideology, or he says certain things that they don't want people to say or know about, and says he's so influential. When he speaks, people listen. And they're like, we can't have this man who a lot of people like and a lot of people listen to saying these things because he's exposing us for what we are, the snakes that we are behind the scenes. Now, what I really want to talk about is what happened on Drink Champs, because I think that's a bigger story, even though to me, all of this stuff is connected, right? They do the bank thing first. They remove him from the bank. And now he goes on the show and he says all these things. And then they try to make an example of him there too. So I'm going to read this article where it says, Drink Champs pulls Kanye West episode due to false and hurtful comments about George Floyd. Oh my. You can't talk bad about George Floyd, right? Because he was God's gift to the earth. But anyways, the article says, Drink Champs, the podcast hosted by Nore and DJ EFN, has taken down a recent episode featuring Kanye West due to the rapper's false and hurtful comments about the murder of George Floyd. A representative for the podcast told The Hollywood Reporter on Tuesday. Drink Champs prides itself on its ability to allow a free flow of ideas within the hip-hop community. That being said, unfortunately, the recent interview with Kanye West contained false and hurtful information regarding the circumstances surrounding the murder of George Floyd. Integrity is very important, and we don't want to promote false narratives on our platform. Our goal is to celebrate the culture, the rep for Drink Champs said in a statement. Therefore, we had no choice but to remove the episode from distribution. We apologize to the family of Mr. Floyd and anyone else hurt by this episode. West returned to Revolt's Drink Champs podcast over the weekend and, during his 3-hour appearance, spread misinformation about the death of George Floyd and responded to LeBron James' YouTube show The Shop's decision to pull its episode with him. So you see how all these people are working in unison to try to attack Kanye West and take him down and make him look bad, right? That's what this is all about. It's not about, did he say something wrong? It's, he says things that we don't like, so we need to make an example out of him. Notice the difference. It's not if he said something wrong. It's he's saying things we don't like, so we have to silence him. We have to embarrass him. We have to remove him from every platform, anywhere we can, and make him look bad. And then call him a conspiracy theorist and all these other buzzwords, right? To try to make him look like he's crazy or something wrong with him, even though he's speaking the truth, right? It says here, at various points in the interview, West repeated anti-Semitic conspiracies, and during one exchange briefly stated white lives matter doesn't mean that black lives don't matter. It's a true statement. I mean, it is what it is. Without further elaboration from either the rapper or the podcast's host, who asked him about his recent decision to wear a White Lives Matter t-shirt. But West also repeated misinformation about the cause of Floyd's death to the host after Nore called back to the rapper, previously disputing that convicted murderer and former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin kneeled on Floyd's neck. While referencing a documentary released by conservative activists, Daily Wire host and former Turning Point USA spokesperson Candace Owens, the rapper claimed that Floyd's death was related to fentanyl in his system, among other inaccurate statements. Floyd's death was ruled a homicide by Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office in June 2020. Chauvin, who pleaded guilty to violating a federal criminal civil rights statute on 2 occasions, was convicted of murder and manslaughter in April 2021. Now, I haven't seen this documentary, but from my understanding, and I believe Tim Pool was talking about it, he said that there's evidence and proof that, yes, fentanyl in Floyd's system was most likely the cause of death. That's what the people that saw the documentary said, or that's what's in the documentary. That's what the doctor that did the autopsy or whatever, they're the people that are saying that this could have been the cause, right? So long story short, Kanye wasn't lying or making stuff up. He was saying what actually could have, would have, should have, maybe happened. But again, they don't want you to know that, and they don't want you to think about that. They just want you to think, oh, somebody put their knee on this person's neck. So an officer, a white officer, right, put his knee on this black man's neck and killed him. That's all they want you to know. They don't want you to know anything else. They don't want you to think about anything else because they're trying to push a narrative and an agenda, right? So that's what this is all about. And again, Kanye West was repeating what he heard in the documentary, which sounded to be accurate or true, and now he's being made an example of. And they're like, oh, you can't say that fentanyl killed him. You have to say the other thing, that it was the officer that did it, right? So you can't question this. You can't talk about it. You just have to accept the mainstream media narrative that the officer killed them. And that's it. There's nothing else to this. If you speak outside those lines, especially if you're somebody in the celebrity circle, right, like Kanye is, they're going to go after you. And that's what they're doing. They're trying to make an example out of him. That's what this is all about. But I am very disappointed with Noriega because I liked him growing up. And he's scared for his life. He's not defending Kanye. He's actually, jumping ship. And all these other people in the industry, in the music industry, and rappers and whoever, they're all attacking Kanye, saying what's wrong with him, yada, yada, yada. They're nothing but a bunch of snakes. That's all these people are. He's being betrayed by his own community and his own industry that, he made a lot of people famous in this industry, in the rap industry, in the music industry. And he did a lot for his community. And now they're turning their back on him. Those are the snakes that he has to deal with. But that's what happens when you speak the truth. That's how this world is. Anyways, if you like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.